My mic is fine. Can you hear me? It's Taras. I'm speaking.
Hey, Taras, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay. I have some strange sounds. Maybe I will reconnect shortly.
Okay, let us know. But you're on stage right now and we hear you loud and clear, so that's all good. All right, I think that's the green light. We want to go live, so we have enough time for everything. Jana, let me know if we're live, then I will start it. All right, welcome everyone. Officially live now on all platforms. Hello, YouTube folks. Hello, everybody on Twitter. Hello, everybody here joined us on the Twitter Spaces Pomelo Pitch Sessions Season 3, Round 4. We had 4 grants lined up here to pitch their ideas on how to improve the ecosystem with public goods, and each speaker has 10 minutes to pitch their idea or to pitch their idea and then have some leftover time to answer some questions. So if you have any questions if you're in the audience, if you follow Pomelo Grants and see our latest tweets, we tweeted out this Twitter space, and you see links to all the grants that are pitching today in the comments section. And you can leave a question there, which we will then read out for you. Or you can also raise your hand and come on stage if you want. There's space for 5 more people on the stage, so don't be shy, but behave yourself. Otherwise, I'll mute and kick you. All right, so that's the introduction for today's event. A short introduction to Pomelo. Everybody who doesn't know Pomelo yet. Pomelo is a crowdfunding platform for public goods on the EOS blockchain. And the magic is the quadratic funding. So the more small donations go to one grant, the higher the share gets of the matching pool. We're very thankful for this season's matching pool donated by the ENF, the EOS Network Foundation, and which is 300,000 US dollars. And this is distributed to all the grants. This season was another record, 169 grants been approved, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. The stats are from last week. We almost raised more than 33K USD by unique contributors, which are a little bit, and we have about like more than 4,000 unique donations, which is pretty significant. I have to say, thanks to everyone. The donations are still open for a little bit under 12 hours, I assume. And yeah, check it out. You will find all the information you need on the Twitter that we do these Twitter spaces. And we share some useful links later here on the top of the space, and you can click through it. So that's the short introduction. Did I miss anything? I guess not. Yeah, maybe introduce myself. Hi, I'm Martin Breuer. I will be your host tonight, as you might have guessed. And yeah, happy to have you all. And hey, cool. The first speaker for tonight, the first pitch, will be EOS PYO. So Rob, Rob, give me your rap about EOS PYO and what you bring to the EOS community.
Oh man, Martin, I'm not much of a rapper, but I'll try. Thanks for having us on to talk about EOS PYO. So yeah, EOS PYO is a Python library for antelope networks. Still getting used to saying that, but that's a great name. Fun fact, actually, I noticed Lars just joined the session here. The first Facings logo that he drafted was actually an ibex and looked a lot like an antelope. So pretty fun there. But anyways, on to EOS PYO. So EOS PYO is a signing library that lets you sign, craft, and broadcast transactions from Python code to networks like EOS, Wax, Telos, and so on. And you know, we think this is an important tool that our team actually uses ourselves on our own backend services and our own scripts and various tools we write. And so, of course, we want to make this available to the community and seek support in order to improve it. We've got a roadmap detailed in the grant itself. Some of the main things we're looking to do are improve documentation and make the pipeline to publish new versions of it automated so that we can improve the ability to get new updates out into the wild and make it easier for others to use the library, new devs coming in, as well as make it a more friendly library to contribute to, because we're really looking to activate folks in the community who also want to contribute directly to the code in the library. So just general maintenance of the open source project. Beyond that, though, we're looking to add interfaces to make it even easier for devs to interface with common functionality, be it system functionality around tokens, voting, atomic assets, interactions, so that you can call Python functions that represent those on-chain smart contract calls essentially directly. We also want to add testing around the library to improve the ability to keep the code quality high and make sure that we're testing all our edge cases and not breaking the code as new updates are rolled out. And make it easier for folks to leverage the library in new ways. So we're always open to more feedback on that. One of our stretch goals is to incorporate ledger support so people can use their hardware wallets in order to basically request signatures for signing and broadcasting from Python code. So this has a lot of uses, especially in some security contexts, and we think it'd be a great feature to add. So we're just looking for general support for folks who think this is a net boon for our ecosystem, and folks who want to contribute or use it are more than welcome to. It's published on the Python package index, or PyPy, so you can pull it into your Python code quite easily. And yeah, in general, we just want to make sure that developers have the tools they need to get going quickly on applications. So this is part of ecosystem growth in general, to have more options for ways to access the networks we're building products and applications on. And EOS PYO hopes to be a cornerstone of that. And we are considering a name change to Antelope IO, but we'll see if that happens. So anyways, I'm happy to take some questions. I don't know that I need the full 10 minutes if there aren't a whole lot of questions, but happy to talk more about what we're doing and our approach here.
Awesome pitch. Love it. I was reading through the grant a little bit earlier, as normal preparation, and yeah, I mean, I'm not a developer, but Python I hear often when I talk to developers, and reading from your pitch, I mean, it's one of the most popular ones. Anybody in the audience having questions right now? Maybe somebody who is a developer who can be a little bit more specific to really see if this is needed, or get some more, give some more room for Robrigo to introduce what he's planning to do. Otherwise, I have a couple of ones that are coming from couple of questions that are coming from a non-developer perspective. So anybody on the stage who has a question to Rob, unmute your mic and speak now. Or if you're in the audience, raise your hand and I'll bring you on. And while we're waiting, hey, Dan.
Hi. Hey, Martin. I don't have a question, but I did just want to say something I'm not sure if Robrigo said. There was a great January EOS interview that Jimmy D hosted with one of the members who are working on EOS PYO that came out a few months ago. So there's also a lot of helpful details there. I watched a few months ago, and it made a lot of sense. Well, I don't remember all the specifics as well, but figured that might be helpful to throw in there as well.
Yeah, great segue. Actually, EOS PYO, you're a reoccurring grant, right? It's not your first time that you're participating in Pomelo, right? You were there in season 2 already.
Correct. Yeah, we've been participating since the first season.
Awesome.
And thank you, Dan, for bringing that on. That highlight was actually one of the core developers, Faisal, who works on EOS PYO. And so we've got a great team that have built the library. Another one of the engineers, Edson, as well, working with Faisal to ensure that, you know, we've got proper review over the code. And I really appreciate you mentioning Faisal there, Dan, the unsung heroes who are doing the real work. I'm just out here talking about it.
Thanks, Robrigo, and happy to help. And yeah, thanks so much for all your great work too. I appreciate both you talking about it, and I know you're also doing a lot behind the scenes too.
Awesome.
Thanks a ton. Yeah, so really at the end of the day, all these donations go to paying for those developers to continue working on it. So it's really where the money is spent is directly on developer talent. And, you know, the more we raise, the more we can have those developers focusing on it 100% to execute the roadmap we've outlined. So
Yeah.
it's very simple how we're spending those funds.
Yeah, the whole project seems to me like a ongoing process of updating and basically bringing both languages together. That's kind of the thing, right? You continuously look for funding in every season, and the community can signal for you how much your work is needed and how much you can then pay your developers. The question that I'm having is like, are you also looking into other avenues of funding, or is Pomelo your only way to basically pay that? Because like looking at your roadmaps and looking at your funding goals, I mean, you're kind of far from your first goal. I would encourage you to look for other avenues of funding as well. Are you doing this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So regardless of, you know, if we're able to hit our targets with this, the way I look at the Pomelo grant is a way for us to prioritize this work more expediently. But our teams will continue to support the project. So it is a joint venture between Facings and Detroit Ledger Technologies. And so we're going to continue to maintain these as long as we can. And so, you know, those companies both have their own strategies as far as raising funding, revenue, and otherwise. And any of those successes would likely feed into our capability to keep maintaining it. As far as targeted funding, you know, this could qualify for an ENF grant since it's fully open source and a public good. So that has been discussed. Facings is currently doing an ENF grant right now, so we'd need DLT to consider that. Although I think they are also considering other ways they could potentially apply for the ENF grant process. So you know, it's definitely on the table as something that, hey, we could just request a certain target, hit the roadmap, and mature the library quickly. As far as outside of those two funding routes, though, you know, Facings succeeding and earning fundraising, you know, was something we've been working on for a bit here, and going through incubators like Helios would certainly also boost our ability to invest in it. So there's a few different routes there for sure. And I think that it's definitely worth exploring more outside of that, maybe even outside of the Antelope community.
Probably. I love how often you do dropped Antelope in your pitch. That you get extra bonus points for this. And if you're approaching other funding opportunities, like having the Pomelo pitch and seeing that the community signals that the support for you, I think that's another indicator which would help, you know, securing some funding somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I will say one thing. Talking to some various VCs, they like the hustle. They like seeing that we're leveraging these sorts of ecosystem initiatives and able to apply and have grants approved and then execute on those grants. So it definitely does look good if you're a bootstrap startup in a position like Facings to be able to, you know, show that execution. And it's amazing just to see this finally after many years, the community being able to be funded on their various projects and initiatives. So I love to see it and looking forward to seeing how it evolves. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, and that's the time. I need to be strict here. Cool. Thanks so much, Rob, for like kicking it off right here. Super interesting grant, and wish you lots of success. Next up, we have Taras with the Msigg app. Taras, are you ready?
Yes, hello.
Awesome. Yeah, it's go time. 10 minutes for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to be here. So I want to tell you about our project. It's about multi-signature, Msigg. So we want to simplify it because it's a bit complicated. But let me first maybe tell a few words about multi-signature in general. Maybe somebody don't know what is it. So when you have some transaction on blockchain, if you need more than one signature, let's say you and a friend of yours also need to sign this, so this is called multi-signature transaction. So it can be useful for DAO, for other use cases where few people own something, let's say, when few people can only make a decision together. So these use cases became more and more common. And that was one of the reasons why we decided to develop this. Another reason was that it's a bit complicated, as I said already, for novice for somebody who is new to this topic to create this multi-signature transaction with current instruments. So we decided that it can be simplified. And another aspect of it is that even for experts, it's sometimes complicated and it's sometimes boring, some kind of monkey job that when you need to do many of these transactions per month. So we have something for them also for this use case for experts, because we have some templates, so you can kind of automate it a bit, prepare some transactions for you and then reuse it and so on. So in short, we have our product for both novice, new people to this area, and for experts. So yeah, this is our goal. And another aspect also is that by the way, I'm representing CryptoLions team with this application, and CryptoLions is within EOS PYO from the beginning. And we also created a famous Jungle testnet, for example. Jungle testnet is one of things that many people know, and it's here from the beginning of EOS PYO. Yeah, and why I'm telling about this, because we are also, as a team, CryptoLions team is involved in several other EOS PYO blockchains, and during all this stuff, we were very kind of busy with multi-signature also, and we were helping other teams with that, and we were helping with that while starting up different EOS PYO blockchains. So we are kind of experts of this multi-signature topic. Yeah, so that's all together bring us to this idea that we can create this multi-signature application. It should have msigg.app, msigg.app URL. We already have some prototypes, so you can see this on Pomelo. We have some short video of user interface there. We already have about 45 contributors, but we need more, at least twice of that number would be good. So yeah, it would be nice if somebody of you would vote for us also. Yeah, so to summarize, it's a multi-sig application, some templates, something to simplify, work with this multi-sig topic, and for both novice and experts. Part of work already done. We have already about 40 contributors, and we need twice more. And yeah, we are also experts of this topic because we are many years with EOS PYO. So that was a short summary of my short pitch.
Awesome. Thanks, Taras. Anybody got questions for Taras? Please raise your hand or unmute your mic. I don't see any questions in the comment sections. If you're shy, though, you can just comment under the pitch session tweet on Pomelo grants. So it's pretty awesome that you already did a lot of work on your project. The video that I saw on your grant looks pretty cool. And I totally agree that like Msiggs are so powerful. Often when I talk to people about what you know, decentralization and blockchains bring to how people can organize their efforts, I talk about Msiggs, but then if I try to tell people, okay, this is how it works, it's kind of like you lose them immediately. So giving them an easy interface is magic, and I really like this. So when you say you need double the contributors, you mean like you need more donors? Currently, your grant is on around about $1,000. So to finish your work, you would need like $2,000 because in your grant you don't have any funding goals. You see what I see is like you want to finish the development with the funds and implement the EOS blockchain support and continue R&D. So you need like $1,000 more to reach all these goals. Do I read this correctly?
Well, when I said twice more, it was just just something to say that we need more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, you're right that we don't have some goals for how many dollars we need, but that's partly because we have different incentives also to develop this kind of maybe anyway, but maybe longer, you know, because that's our core expertise within this Msigg topic. But I mean, if we got more money, then it can be kind of faster, and then next versions can be also more powerful and also faster delivered. So that's why we haven't set a target. Yeah, but I agree, by the way, with you. I also sometimes when I talk with my friends who are kind of only familiarizing themselves with blockchain, and some friend of mine also asked something like, can we own something together? Can we kind of do this kind of thing? So that's topic of owning something together with this smart contracts with multi-signatures is something that is interesting for people. But as you said, it's not so easy to actually show this and do this for new people.
Yeah, it's really the next level. I really like how your grant starts. Like I quote, you know, right now, blockchain gives us a new sense of personal ownership. Now we also move into group ownership, DAOs, cooperation, making decisions together with somebody. So this is exactly like once you enter it and understand like, okay, personal ownership, I own this right now, it's trustless. You want to start co-owning things in a trustless manner and make trustless decisions together. So that's pretty awesome. I really wish you luck for your grant. Anybody else got questions? This is an open session right here. Come on, guys. There's 1 more minute left for asking Taras a question. If nobody asks, I think that's a simple yes or no question. I see right now you're supporting Anchor and Wax Cloud Wallet, right? Because you're also live on the Wax testnet. Are you planning to also support other wallets? Or is this something that's completely out of scope?
Well, it's not decided yet, but yeah, we are open to different ideas here, and we have the export, so it can be also kind of transaction can be exported and then used with kind of different wallets anyway. So I think this should also be possible, but yeah, different wallets is also interesting topic. By the way, I would like also to mention that we cooperate with kind of user experience professional. So we want to make this user interface kind of very simple and catchy and nice. So that's kind of one of the main of our work with this project.
Yeah, I can see this. The user interface looks really sick. So everybody that hasn't checked it out yet, go to the grant, which is linked here on the top. Everybody is new to Twitter Spaces. On the top of the Spaces, you will find the links to the grants and the links to the tweets to the grants. And if you check out on top right now the one from CryptoLines tweet there, you can go directly to the grant and watch the video to see the UI that is so well designed as Taras just described. All right, so that's the second pitch for today. Next up, we got Anchor for Unity. So Corvin, are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Hello, hello.
Okay, nice. Hi. I'm Corvin. I'm CM80H on Twitter, and I'm the founder of Liquid.io. First of all, follow us if you like. The Twitter handle is BeLiquid with 2 I's. I'm here for 4 years now, into EOS.io from the beginning. This is what I identify with, and it's what I live for. As I have much more time for this pitch, as I'm terrible in pitching, I want to start a little different today. Typically, I'm saying Liquid.io, me and my team are building games on EOS.io, but also the tools needed by developers to build games on EOS.io. But what does that actually mean? And why is it so crucial? I think it's always easy for users and investors to invest in applications or the protocol token because it's something they can benefit from directly. It is usually easier to understand without deep technical knowledge. It's usable for everyone. It is something that is easier to identify with, something you can have fun with or profit from financially in a direct way. But what many people don't realize, what they don't see, is that software development is almost always based on software without which the actual development of the application would not be possible or would be immensely more complex. Development tools. Every application you use, be it on EOS, Wax, ETH, Solana, Tezos, has always been developed with the help of various tools and would not have been possible without them. Consequently, the development tools that enable developers to create applications are at least as valuable as the applications themselves. A large number of development tools will most likely result in a larger number of applications. And the lack of development tools creates a gap in relevant areas that affect the entire ecosystem negatively. That was something general just about tooling, developer tools to allow developers in general to build applications that you as a user can use at the end of the day. Now, the gaming on EOS gap, how I call it. Successful games like Upland or Prospectors on EOS show that game development on EOS opens up new possibilities. They show that mass adoption is possible and that the door to a significant part of the gaming industry is open to us. In fact, these applications are the most used applications on EOS to date. Upland alone has 3 times the daily users of all other applications combined. But why is gaming not thriving on EOS like it does in other ecosystems? Why are there only a handful of games? Well, of course, we have been struggling on EOS for the last few years, and I won't go into details. But the second biggest reason is that developers still find it too difficult to develop games on EOS because there's a lack in the necessary development tools. And that's what our or my pitch is about. The native Unity 3D and Anchor and ESR integration is one of the most important, unfortunately, still missing tools. It's indispensable and there's no way around it. It's imperative to enable developers to develop games on EOS.io. It allows you to connect your wallet with your game. That's the base for everything. Now, ecosystem and growth, how I would say. Many ecosystems and communities provide SDKs and plugins to make it easier for game developers to integrate blockchains. And they do with great success. In ecosystems where the necessary tools are available, decentralized gaming flourishes and the number of gaming projects is growing steadily. A few weeks ago, I wasn't sure how many Web3 games were built, developed in Unity 3D when it comes to percentage. And over the last 2 weeks, I kind of did a small security study and I downloaded over 50 Web3 games for a different reason. But the outcome was that none of the tested games was developed with a game engine different than Unity 3D. Every single game that I downloaded, and I did not concisely look for Unity 3D games. Every game that I downloaded was built in Unity 3D. That tells something about the market share of Unity 3D based games in the Web3 gaming space. Now, Liquid.io and what we're doing, what we can, and what we have experience with. Liquid.io already develops and maintains various plugins for Unity 3D. Among others, EOS Sharp, diverse SDKs, plugins for Hyperion, Atomic Assets, Atomic Market, Diffuse, etc. However, the biggest missing part still is a native Anchor and ESR integration. There were several attempts and various projects tried to develop and provide such a plugin, but without success. Our Anchor ESR integration is already under development. We re-engineered the original projects by Greymass to allow a native implementation as close as the original as possible. 13 of 17 unit tests are passing, so we are on the right path. But there's still a lot of work left for which the necessary funds are missing. So that's why I'm here, asking for your help and donations to make it happen, finally. The development of the native Unity 3D Anchor and ESR integration to allow any game developer working with Unity 3D to build on EOS. That's it.
Awesome. I mean, you said you're not a good pitcher. This was like a really nice pitch. Like 10 minutes, almost on the point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I really enjoy listening to it. So, yeah.
I'm trying. I'm giving my best. I'm trying to get better.
Well, you speak very calm, and that's probably also why you almost made the 10 minutes. But I think speaking about technical things, it's really good to not overwhelm people with too fast speaking. However,
that's something I improved. It's great to hear that I speak calm. That was a challenge.
Any questions from the audience in the last minute of Corvin's time? I don't hear some. Anyway, I'm super happy to hear that you're directly working with Greymass and Anchor together, because like one person that speaks also about the importance of SDKs for general onboarding and making everything run more smooth is Aaron Cox from Greymass. So I guess you guys are super aligned in the work together. That would be my question. Are you in contact with Greymass?
Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I would say Aaron is, for me, that's kind of the family.
Awesome.
Yeah, being here for years, everyone knows each other. I think there is this core developer group people not directly working on the EOS.io protocol or now with a new name, but doing the stuff around it, getting it done. And yeah, I see myself and for sure also Aaron in there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck for your pitch. Everybody in the audience, make sure that you like revisit the grant if you haven't revisited yet, and donate if you can.
Yeah.
Thanks, Corvin.
Last
Awesome
but not
work.
least, I just want to say thank you to everyone who already donated.
Yes.
Any donation is of help. Big thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Thanks so
thank you
much
for having
Corvin.
me.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. All right. 3 in, 1 more to go, and maybe some more room for a last one. Mo, are you ready to pitch Eden open source illustrative reputation system?
Sure. Hey, everyone. Thank you, Martin, for the introduction. My name is Mohammed Diab. Many may know me by my Telegram or Discord handle, MoZDS. I've been in EOS since early 2018 and in Eden since nearly the beginning. I'll begin by discussing what we're doing in Eden and the Eden open source illustrative reputation system. The premise we're starting from is that Eden is meant to be an application to facilitate governance. However, the current state of Eden is that it's a simple democratic fractal process. It selects representation and leadership, allocates funds based on anyone's isolated, randomly subjective values and metrics at election time. It has no way of associating past work with members other than a member's recollection of what another has done that happens to be in the group. And there's no way of valuing past contributions objectively, no way of identifying members who are more or less dedicated, and no way of comparing members to each other objectively. So obviously, there's no way for non-members to objectively value the organization as a whole or its members independently. And that's just a few of the problems that result. Keeping all of this in mind, what will the illustrative reputation system look like and bring to the table? First, it will have an area for delegates and elected members in distinguished positions to be able to mint and distribute non-transferable tokens and NFTs on one side. On the other, imagine a member's easy-to-read dashboard containing information represented visually that relates to election participation, success in past elections, fireside chat, town hall, Eden Fractal, or any weekly meeting attendance. Eden Fractal accumulated respect, roles served within Eden recognized projects, random appreciated contributions, positive logged interactions, punctuality scores. There's just so many things that could generate quantifiable value that are being dismissed and underappreciated. So all of these things first can be collected as non-transferable tokens that can later allow for staking and NFT minting. Everything I've just mentioned is not set in stone, and we'll be looking at to a committee from the Eden community to settle on what will be valued and how exactly. Since this project will be open source, other communities outside of Eden could be able to adopt it and adjust what metrics and values they'll be using. Now the question is why? Why all of this? Well, if we accept that the world as a whole is moving in greater and greater numbers onto the internet and its evolution into Web3, then we need to have some way of quickly knowing who we're dealing with and whether or not we would like to deal with them. Now, I reject the idea that a person should be reduced to one number, and I think most of us here reject the idea of a social credit score. So we are much more than that, I think, and we need a way to portray our various and unique positive attributes and simultaneously have them valued by people we just met across the globe, which I think will facilitate trade, increase trust, and transfer, and therefore create value in an international virtual community. I think we aspire to be able to create something that will be leveraged within and eventually outside of the EOS and now Antelope ecosystems. This reputation system will give projects the ability to search out verifiably proven responsible members of the Eden community for governance jobs on their dApps. These could be things like Msigg holders and other high-level decision-making positions of responsibility, which could add a counterweight to a proof of stake or proof of work chain or to anything else lacking a human touch within their dApps or DAOs, and whose need has been shown in the recent DeFi meltdowns. Now, by creating a reputation layer for Eden and other DAOs to incorporate, we will incentivize greater, more frictionless collaboration between parties, looking to collaborate and generate more value. This will allow truly valued members within Eden and other DAOs to be recognized and objectively prove they deserve the trust they're asking for from a given community, which will give Eden and the DAO itself metrics with which to measure its value. This will create a more trusted layer of human collaboration across the evolving internet, as we can already see all of the main metaverses coming together to work on governance. As this evolves, people will be able to leverage and monetize their reputations in a positive and transparent manner, allowing for what I like to call RepuFi to take hold. If we stand down and don't give an alternate option to the social credit score, it is what we'll have. This is our chance to create, shape, leverage, and spread a more human and nuanced alternative stemming and based on EOS. Thank you guys for listening. That's I kept it short and sweet, but feel free to ask any questions, keeping in mind I'm on the vision side of this project and likely not equipped to answer anything to do with the developer side, but I'm happy to take the questions and pass them on and get back to you guys. Also, let me take advantage now and ask if there are any UI developers or anyone interested in working on something like this. Please feel free to reach out. MoZDS on Telegram is where I'm most responsive. And please directly mention why you are messaging me, or else you will be blocked. That's it from that side. Any questions?
Sweet, thanks, Mo. Great pitch. Love the idea. I mean, especially since we're talking Pomelo and this is a Pomelo event, Pomelo is also a platform where reputation is really something, reputation of the grant applicants plays a huge role on the platform on how we secure ourselves like an immune system from bad actors. So it's super aligned with Pomelo. Super cool. Any questions here? Otherwise, I'm speaking way too much on this event. Dancing Joy, you got a question for Mo, or you're just waving your hand?
Yes, well, I was waving my hand, but I also have a question too.
I'll wave back then.
Thank you. Yeah, so thanks for everybody's waving, great. So thanks, Mo, for the great overview, as well as to Ross and Corvin too. Really appreciate all the introductions and overviews. Something I was wondering, Mo, was I've been following along like loosely with the Eden NFT group, and I know that this is like related to it, and a lot of the ways of measuring are using NFTs. But I'm wondering, perhaps you could further elaborate how this is related to the Eden NFT group, because there seems to be other components that are outside of it. And I'm also wondering if you're working with, like, I know that Sachit, I believe is how you pronounce his name, is a developer who's working there, and then Chuck was also working on stuff. Martin was helping out as well as Robrigo. So yeah. I'd be curious if you'd like to further elaborate on that.
I'm not exactly getting the question. Well, this is specifically that. That's the people that you've named that are in that group. We're all working together to try to push this forward and create. This is the eventual project, what this is supposed to develop into.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying. Yeah. I thought it was a separate project, but
no, this is it. This is it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Awesome. Anybody else with a question for Mo? And if not, I have one question. If I understand this correctly, you basically accumulate and build up trust by accumulating NFTs and NTTs, correct?
Correct.
So is there any way to also decrease my trust score? Let's say I'm super involved in and I accumulate a lot of trust, but at some point I go rogue. So is there something that people can also send you, let's say, a negative NFT, like for signaling distrust? Because people change, right?
Right. Ideally, the way that we're thinking about it, it should be more weighted towards the positive side. So you wouldn't really lose or have negative NFTs so much as possibly what we're also thinking about is how do I say this? NFTs that decrease in value over time. For example, like let's say you stop showing up to events or stop showing up to Eden or do things that may be negative in one aspect or another. What would end up happening is that you would just stop receiving more of those NFTs, and the ones that you would have, they would start decreasing in value. So eventually, in comparison to other members, you would see how your value would be dropped, would be lower than someone else's. But the idea is to keep it in a positive direction instead of handing out negative, because I mean that also can be gamed as well. And it's best to keep people moving in a positive direction rather than negative.
Yeah, I like the aspect of it kind of decreasing values of the NFT. That's a nice solution. Awesome. Thanks for answering the question.
No problem.
Yeah, and we're kind of, I mean, guys, we are really going to the next event shortly, me and Jana. So I need to cut this short right now, Dan. Sorry for not having time for you. We kind of need to switch over. Jana, can you confirm that? How much time do you need to basically switch over the streaming to the Discord and, you know, getting ready for the fireside chat, which will be right after this event? Everybody join.
Yeah, I kind of need 5 minutes. So if yeah, then keeps it short. 4 minutes, 3 minutes now. We can go.
1 minute. 1 minute for Dan.
Hurry, Dan.
Hurry up, Dan.
Okay, are you sure? I was originally thinking this was a rapid fire, so I prepared to do a 2-minute pitch, but I also don't want to hold you guys up though, and prevent you. So
make it extra rapid.
Okay, sure. Although
I will cut you down after 2 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go for it. Thank you. And yeah, feel free to jump in at any point too. I don't want to hold you up, but yeah, I'll share. Basically, I was just able to get the Eden Creators Grant. I was able to get the Eden Creators Grant approved yesterday. Thanks to the Pomelo team. And so I just signed up at the last minute, basically. And so I'll provide a brief introduction to Eden Creators. Of course, I'm Dan Singjoy. So Eden Creators are empowering EOS by hosting fun events and creating helpful content and growing communities with the revolutionary process of Fractally. I had a pitch in the last season of Pomelo, and it's come a long way. So you can learn many details about our work at a new website that we recently updated, edencreators.com, and I'll also share an overview of a few ways we're helping create public goods for the EOS community. So hosting fun events, creating helpful content, growing communities. First one, hosting fun events. We host several events for the community every week, including the Eden Fractal and Eden Town Halls and many other events at edencreators.com/events. They're all free for all to access and welcoming for people to participate. Eden Fractal is working to help EOS and empower communities with the Fractally process every Wednesday at 13 UTC, and you can join and earn respect in EOS by helping out. And we also have articles, lots of articles to learn more on edencreators.com and in the Pomelo grant, which is pomelo.io/grants/Eden Creators. There's a bunch of like blog posts I've been writing to explain more. Also, the town hall I host with Felix every Sunday at 16 UTC. We talk about Eden and all sorts of stuff like that. And those videos are all on our YouTube channels. I'm just giving a very high level overview here. And then creating helpful content. Also, the Eden Creators YouTube channel has playlists from all of those events and then a bunch of other events throughout the week that all are very aligned and helpful for EOS and EOS.io. So you can also go to edencreators.com/videos to see that. And then also growing communities. We're building a bunch of communities in addition to the community I mentioned, like Eden Fractal. There's also lots of communities that have been building on EOS and working for a while and so forth, and we're coming up close. So I'll just say thank you very much, and and then all contributions are greatly appreciated, super helpful, and thank you everybody.
Sorry, guys. So everybody that's still in the audience, make sure to follow everybody on the stage right now. I give you like 1 more minute to click on their profile. You can follow these if you have further questions. If you want to learn more about the grants, click on their profiles, follow these guys. They're doing awesome work for the EOS community. And a last call for everybody that hasn't increased their trust bonus yet. Jana will share on the top right now one more tweet that shows you links to an article which shows you how to improve your trust bonus. We talked about reputation earlier. And if you do so, you prove that you're a unique person and you increase the impact of your donations up to 50%. So don't miss out on that one. You can still do it after donations close, I assume. So that's just a heads up. And if you want to learn more about all the exciting EOS news that happened today, make sure to join the discord.gg EOS-network. Right now, we're doing a voice in the voice channel. We're doing the fireside chat in 5 minutes. And thanks everyone for joining the season 3 pitch sessions. See you all in season 4 pitch sessions. And, thanks so much. Keep it spicy. Go EOS, go Anti